Thank you. Good morning, students. I hope, rather, I'm sure you all would have had a great time solving the overhead sums. See, keep one thing in mind. Nowadays, I found students find comfort or they start liking something if they find the answers within their understanding, the questions and the adjustments within their known understanding. But remember, students, if what is already known to you, you are simply replicating it, that is not knowledge. That is also not any type of development of you as a student, and neither it is a development of the concept of that subject. When you should feel proud, you should feel satisfied when you are able to handle that question which you had never attempted before, that adjustment which you had never seen before, and still you are able to apply a logic. Yes, I know there is a sort of discomfort. Why? Because you are not sure whether the answer is correct or not. But this is the mindset which I want you all to come out of. See, where you know the answer and you are solving, it is only calculation. It is only calculator. And let me tell you, it is already replaced by softwares. I'm not even saying AI. AI is going to go a step beyond that. So it is already replaced by softwares. Then how and where are you relevant? You are still very relevant because you are able to handle those things which softwares and even today's AI can never handle. That is handling the new scenarios. So first, come to that mindset that now you are in that age, you are in that era where you will be called upon by any industry, either in job or in profession, only if you are able to handle their novel problems which their softwares, which their inbuilt AI chatbots cannot answer. So keep that in mind. With that perspective, approach every chapter, approach every homework sum, and in fact, you should always strive to look out for something which is unknown. You should feel more happy, more comfortable, more, I'll say, uh, content only when you find that the question was something which is outside your known range. So, with this backdrop, let me come back to the topic of overheads. We had started solving this. These notes are uploaded. I'm sure by now they would be available to you all also. If not, let me know. I'll again allow you to take screenshots. But otherwise, from my side, I had uploaded it yesterday evening. So if it has been approved, it would be available to you. So you will now be able to check and not check, rather check that you will be able to do later once I share with you the answers that I will be doing later. But right now I'll be showing you on screen the answers for your verification. So I am showing now, I'm sharing my screen of answers. This I have not yet shared. I'll be sharing this at the end because I don't want you all to copy the answer. So this is the final answer for question 1. So this we had solved in the class, but we had not done the totals that I had kept for homework because I wanted to take up more number of questions. So this first question is the answer for this first question is this. So you may just mark it. You may take a screenshot of this. 1 second. Yeah, take a screenshot of this so that at your comfort, at your leisure time, you can compare each and every one. Wherever it has not matched, you can identify what has gone wrong. So I'm changing the screen. Now I'm going to the second answer. This I had only discussed in the class. You were supposed to solve it by your own self. So this is the answer for the second one. So kindly check this. Take a screenshot of this. This is the second question's answer, right? Now, third one, I'm not able to locate right now. Anyways, Okay, third I'm not able to locate. No problem. I'll discuss the third one with you all. Now coming to those questions of simultaneous, these are the ones which we solved in the class. That is, if you remember, we were solving question 5 in the class, and you are supposed to solve question 6 by yourself, the first two methods. So firstly, this is the answer for first two methods of question 5, step ladder and the direct method. Let me give you the answer for question 6. Uh, 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 uh. No, it's not here. Okay, no problem. So question 6 again, we can discuss. So two answers we will be discussing. One is question number 3 and one is question number 6, which was your homework. So students, very good morning to all of you all. Yes, very good morning. Maithili, Akhila, Minu, Surender, Tamanna, Diksha, Nikunj. Very, very good morning to everyone. Let us now check your answers. So I'll discuss question number 3. Answers. Yes, Josh, good morning. So see, question 3. Again, you are supposed to do primary. Now, interestingly, in this question, there is no service center given. So please understand. See, this is where you have to be prepared for something which is different than what you have done. So it is not necessary that every time you'll have service centers. Every time you'll have 3 production and 2 service centers. It may be any combination. It may be 1 production center and 4, 5 service centers. We'll have those type of sums also. But in this particular question, there are only 3 cost centers and all are production centers. Again, which was rightly pointed out in the previous class, that this particular case is of, again, machine driven departments. Why this is important? So that sundries can be allocated on that basis. Now, what is the data given? Number of workers, number of machine hours, percentage HP. So this is the HP into machine hours that you do for power, right? So this is again value of assets. Now, first expense given is direct wages. But since all are production departments, we are going to ignore them. So we won't be considering them. Now, the first expense that you are given, where you have to now start using your calculators and the format is indirect wages. Now, the ratio for indirect wages will be direct wages. So this is the ratio for apportioning 18 lakhs. Next is supervisor salary. For supervisor, you'll use the ratio of number of workers, because more the number of workers, more the number of supervisors you need. Then comes depreciation. We all know for depreciation, it is the value of assets. Similarly, for insurance, it is the value of assets. Now, for electricity charges, it will be HP multiplied by machine hours. For welfare, again, it will be number of workers, because welfare cost is number of workers. And then last, which is sundries, office and other expenses. Since this is a machine department, work is machine driven, we will use machine hours for this. So students, this is the ratio that you have to use for primary distribution of question number 3. I hope this is understood by all. If anybody has queries, doubts, please ask me. Yes, Sharmila, good morning. So students, anybody has questions, doubts, kindly let me know. Yes,
Sir, I
Sushmita.
had one doubt. For indirect wages, why are we taking a ratio of direct wages? Why not number of workers?
Very good question, Sushmita. See, understand one thing, that what is indirect wages covering? It is covering the wages given to non-productive workers. Now, Whether number of workers will give you the correct answer, possible. But there is one small challenge. I'm not saying the ratio of number of workers is totally incorrect, but there is one small challenge. What is that challenge? You are assuming that all indirect workers are paid same rate of wages. And this will never happen because indirect worker will start right from as low as a helper to as high as a foreman or a manager. All these are indirect workers. Now, since the indirect workers range is very different, it may have a fitter, it may have a helper, it may have a only hamal type of a person who is only paid at the rate of 100 200 per hour, and at the same time it will have something like foreman, something like the in charge who may be paid a monthly salary of rupees 2 lakhs 50,000 or 1 lakh something. Now, when you are taking the ratio of number of workers, you are apportioning the wages in the ratio of worker, which indirectly mathematically means that you are giving same wages to all the workers. Whereas when I take direct wages, what will happen in direct wages? Direct wages is including number of workers also, plus it is including the different wage rates also, because how wages is computed, number of hours work multiplied by wage rate. So automatically where in the department you have workers who are paid higher because that department requires more technical type of work, automatically the wages is higher. Maybe the number of workers are less, still the wages can be higher. So when I use wages ratio, instead of workers ratio, I take into account the grade of worker also. That is why, beta, more suitable basis is you should take wages instead of workers. I hope it is clear to everyone. Yes. Any other question? Any other doubt? Yes, Maithili, beta.
Yes, sir. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, beta.
Sir, as you said, indirect wages, we need to take direct wages as a apportionment, not to take a number of workers. But in the case of supervisor's salary, we take number of workers. Why we did, sir?
Again, same logic, beta. See, understand. Supervisors are all same. So they are paid same rate because they are supervisors, right? So we are now talking about the same grade of person, that is supervisor. Correct?
Mm.
So let us say
Mm.
there are 10 supervisors, everyone is paid at the same rate of 70,000. So you have 7 lakhs. Example, right?
Mm.
Now, how many supervisors you will require in each department, department A, department B, department C? That will depend upon the number of workers in each department. Now, here, instead of grade of workers, the number of workers are relevant because the department which is having more number of workers will require more supervisors.
Mm. Yes, sir.
So let us say you have 10 supervisors in total. All are paid 70,000. So now here supervisor's salary is same. All supervisor are supervisors, so their salary is same. But more number of supervisors in this example will be required in department C because there are 800 workers. But
Mm.
comparatively less number will be required in A and B. So out of 10, maybe 5 or 6 are only in C and 2 and 2 are only in A and B. I hope you
Mm.
understand me.
Okay. Yes,
So that
sir.
is why more appropriate is number of workers.
Yes, sir, but their wages will be differ from worker to worker, and salaries is not differ from worker to worker. Correct,
Sorry,
sir?
sorry.
Wages is differently given to worker, and salaries is different to salaries is same to all the workers.
But I'm still not clear with your question.
Sir, my question is wages and salaries are different. Correct.
See, 1 second. This is supervisor salary which you have to apportion. There are
Number
10
of
supervisors, I am assuming. You tell me whether everyone's salary would be same or different.
if their super as per
All are
designations
supervisors, na beta. Generally,
yes,
supervisors are at same level. So the salary would be
okay,
same generally, right?
yes, sir.
Now, I want to apportion this 10 supervisor salary, let us say paid at the rate of 70,000, so it comes to 7 lakhs. If I use the ratio of wages, what will happen? The department which may have less number of workers but more wage rate, they will get
Yes,
more apportionment of supervisor salary. But whereas supervisors are required more in that department where there are more number of workers.
yes, sir. Understood.
Simple, na?
Yes, sir. Thank
Yeah.
you.
So students, can we proceed? Now question 6 was a replica of question 5. And I had asked you to solve it by the first two methods that we studied. One is the direct method and one is the step ladder method. So can anybody give me the final totals as per direct and as per step ladder method for question 6? Students, can you give me the answers for direct method and step ladder method total amounts of ABC for question number 6? No one? Okay, Khushi is giving one answer. So for Khushi has given direct method answer is 1,06,667. 10,833 and 452. Students, it is so simple. You can even do orally right now. Step ladder is Kambira has a different answer slightly. 109,111. So she is saying 109,111. Okay. 110556 and 140,333. Okay. See, it is so simple, students. You can even do orally. If let us say I want to cross check whether the answer is correct or not. Now by direct method, I have to apportion 40,000. What is the ratio? 20, 25, 35. Correct? So I have to divide 40,000 in the ratio of 20 is to 25 is to 35. So divide it. Chalo. It is so simple. You can do it orally. So I'm getting 10,000 here. I'm getting 12,500 here. And I'm getting 17,500 here. This is the division of X. Now I'm dividing Y. What is the ratio? 50, 25, 15. Correct? So it comes to how much? 9. So 30,000 divided by 9. So it is coming as 16,667 multiplied by 1.5. It is coming as 8,333. And again it is components. 5. So students, this will be your total for direct method. So it is 80 plus 10 plus 16. So it is, so this is correct. 90 plus 12 plus, so 20, 110. This is correct. And then 5,000 something. Yes. 22, 142. This is correct. So Khushi's answer of direct method is correct. So I'm presuming even step ladder of Khushi will be right. 0911213055. So see Tamanna, your answer is also matching with Khushi's answer with difference of 1 or 2, that is rounding off difference. So students, this is correct according to me. Please check the answers. Please take a note of these answers. These are correct answers for question 6. Khushi, which answer you have given now, beta? 166678333. Acha, okay. You have given me the bifurcation. So students, this is answer for question 6 by direct and step ladder method. Now, we have to study the other two methods. Now, what are the other two methods? Now, direct and step ladder is one whole category of methods, where in direct method, service departments only give to production. In step ladder, one service gives to another, but the other one is not reciprocating to the first one. And in reciprocal, both are giving to one another. Now for reciprocal, you are given two alternative methods. One is simultaneous, one is repeated. Interestingly, since both are alternative methods, you solve by any method, you will get the same answer. So let us try doing this. Let us now solve. Now this time I'll do one thing. I'll solve question 6 by this, so that question 5 anyways I have answer written with me. So I'll solve question 6 by repeated method and then my simultaneous method. So students, let us solve question 6. Chalo. So now we are solving question 6. Now in question 6, if anybody wants, if you don't have downloaded, you may take a screenshot of this. Rather, in fact, last time also you had taken a screenshot. So now what are the figures as per primary? 80, 90, 120, 40, 30. So it is 80, 90, 120, 40, 30. So these figures are as per the primary distribution. What are the names? The names here are same ABC XY. So department names are same. Method we are changing. Now we are not in step ladder. Now we are doing by the third category, which is reciprocal. Within reciprocal, you have two options. So firstly, the category is reciprocal method. And within this, I'll first do by the repeated distribution method. Students, similar to last time, I'll request that you all solve parallel to me so that it will not only be theoretically understood, but practically you will get the understanding of the method. And let me tell you, these are most common questions repeated in every exam, and they are fully scoring. So don't miss this opportunity. So I now first divide X. Now what is repeated? Firstly, understand what is repeated, students. In repeated, both the departments provide services to one another. So our original question is on repeated only. Both departments are giving services to one another. Now, one more thing, students, you should know is it is not necessary that exam question will tell you that it is repeated. You have to understand it from the data given. See, X department's services in Y's column also. Y's department service is in X column also. This shows that this is a repeated situation. In fact, repeated means reciprocal situation. So, in fact, both the sums are of reciprocal, but so that we can solve it by other methods, we had modified the sum. This you would also be required to do in exam. So that is why this approach is important, that if it is of reciprocal, how to do it by direct method, that also you should understand. That is by ignoring the percentage. But right now we are solving the sum as it is. We are solving the sum by taking the same approach, which is the question, that is what is the reciprocal. Now, I have to divide X, ratio is 20, 25, 35, 20. So it is 20, 25, 35, 20. Correct? Students, use your maths, not your calculators. It is oral. You can do it orally. So 40,000, 20%. 4 twos are 8. 40,000, 25%. It will be 10. Then 20% again, it will be 8. And then 35%, it will be 14. Correct? Good. Now we make a total. This has become nil and this has become 38,000. Now we divide by. See, until this time, this is similar to your step ladder, but now it will change. In step ladder, you were apportioning here only to production departments. But since we are now taking the reciprocal situation, we will apportion it even to the other service department, because other service department is also getting my service. So ratio is 50, 25, 15, 10. 50, 25, 15, 10. I have to divide this 38,000 to all. So 38 half is 19. 38, 10% is 3,800. 38, 15% is 19. So 50, 57, and then 95. Cross-check students. I've done orally, so I'll request you to cross-check. Now, interestingly, this has become nil, but this has got 3,800, which will have to now again apportion. And that is why it is repeated distribution. Again, I'll take the same ratio for x. Please cross-check. I'm not using calci. I'm doing oral calculation. I'm trying to keep my mind sharp by not using calculator. This is what was advised to me by my teacher in school, that if you want to always keep your mind and brain working, never use calculator for such simple calculations. So kindly cross-check. What y is 30,000? You put 38,000. But a y was 30, x gave 8, so it is 38. Na? So now I'll put 38 only. Na? Yes, Maithili. Y was originally 30, but it got 8,000 from x. Na? X gave its expense share to y because x is giving service to y. Be there. Now, interestingly, I have to redistribute this 38. So again, 20% is 7,600. 38 is minus 3,800 is minus 1 second, 10 less. So it is 760 because it is only 3,800. Then 25%. So half is 190. 190. 950. Correct? And 950 plus 380. Cross-check students. This, according to me, is the total 15, 20, 28, 50, 29, 30. I'm getting the total correct. So this should be right. Ambira Beda, what you have done? We are not in direct method or step ladder that you have taken the totals of ABC. We are in the new method. This is the repeated method where both are giving service to one another. So you have to keep on distributing the services to one another. Now, again, interestingly, y has got 760. So I distribute y, taking the ratio of y 50, 25, 15, 10. So 380, 190. Now here this is 76 because this is getting 10%. Correct, no? And half of 76 is 38, 10, 11. Right, students? Nil. Now again, our x got 76. Now I'm sure you understood why it is repeated distribution method. The name suggests. Again, 20, 25, 35, 20. Correct? So 20% of this is 15.2. 25% of this is 3.8, so 19. Correct? And 35% of this is 0.6. So is this fine? I hope I am correct, but my total is not matching. Right. Now my totals are matching. Yes, correct. Thank you. Now again, students, this is nil. This is 15.2. Now we end the game. Two questions. Why now only? Why not earlier? And second, how? Ending the game is simple. That now when I have to apportion department-wise expenses, I will use only the ratio given to A, B, C, and not the ratio given to X. So how to end the game? Ignore the ratio given to the other service department. This is what we did in the previous two methods also. But that we did at the start only. Here we are doing it towards the later stage. Now the question is, when should you decide to stop this game? The answer is when my apportionment will be a single digit figure. So till now, all my apportionments were 2, 3, or 4, 5 digit figures. So I was continuing the game. The moment my figure becomes so small that it comes to single digit, the game will stop. So now nothing will be given to X. This will be subtracted from Y. And now I will only give this 15.2 to ABC. Automatically, the game ends. Correct? So 15.2, 50%. So half is 7.6. So this is 3.8. So the total is 10, 11.4, 11.4, 15.4. Correct, students? 7.6, 3.8. Now, this is nil, this is nil. Correct? Now you will get your answer of A by making a total of this, of B by making a total of this, and of C by making a total of this. Do the totals give me? Maitri is asking if we put X. X means, where do you put X? X means what? Maitri, I didn't get your question. 108.162.8. 162.8. So I've got the first figure from Minu. Bhavani gives me the same figure, so it means it is correct. Yes, Mike.
Yes, sir. As per your explanation, for X service X department, we don't put 10 percentage. Correct, sir.
Right. So
Uh, That's why I'm asking. If we put it X also 10% in that 15.2, it will answer is correct or wrong, sir?
No, answer is not wrong. What will happen? Now again, X will get something. So again, your
Yes.
process will continue. Now, how it will stop? We have to stop it. Now, until unless this becomes nil, my process will not stop. Na?
Okay, sir. But what is the purpose of this stopping activity? This reciprocal, what is, how to say, uh, what we need to collect, what we
First, frame
say.
your question. Don't haste. First, be clear as to what is your query. Until unless you are yourself clear about your query, how will I be able to answer you?
Yes, sir. Uh, because we need to stop the process, correct? But
Correct.
at the end, what is our expectation from this question?
Our expectation is to follow what is the question saying. What is the question saying? See, the question says X is giving to Y is giving to X. Both are giving to one another. It means
Yes,
whatever X will get should be given to Y. Whatever Y will get should be given to X. Now, what is happening? Since both are giving one another, the total of both is always there is something new in that. Are you getting this? Because
yes,
I'm
sir.
giving to you, you divide that, but while dividing, you are again giving something to me. Now I get something. See, it is like this. We five friends are playing a game. We have a
Yes, sir.
piece of big cake. So we first divide between five, right? Now
Hmm.
you and me are service departments. We have to share our cake with others. So direct method was you are sharing only with the other three friends, not with me. I was sharing with the other three friends, not with you. So the in first go, it was becoming zero, correct? You are in my share.
Yes, sir.
Second game was that you will give your share to me, but I will not give it to you. So whatever cakes we have, whatever share of cakes we have got, when you are dividing, you'll divide to the other three friends also and me also. So I'm having my share plus your share of cake. Now when I'm giving my share of cake, I have to give to other three friends, not to you. That was step ladder. It was getting end in that process itself. Correct?
Yes,
So
sir.
first two cases, direct and step ladder, were ending in the first round of X and Y itself. Right? But
Yes,
now
sir.
what is happening? When is repeated applicable? When I am giving you service, you are giving me service. So we both have to give each other a share. Now in the first round, you divide your share to everyone, including me. In my round, whatever I am having, I have to again give it to you. So along with the other three friends, I'm giving it to you. So now you are getting a smaller piece of cake of mine. But you cannot keep it, you cannot have it because you're a service department. So you have to again give it to other friends, but including me. So we are continuously giving one another the share. And this is how the process is continuing. That is why it is called as repeated. But somewhere it has
Mm-hmm.
to end. Where it will end, where the cake has become so small that giving to everyone will be very minuscule. So even if here you had given me, it would have been some 1 or 2 rupees.
Yes, sir.
So we are ignoring that 1 or 2 rupees by not giving.
Yes,
So
sir.
that is how the process ends. So the
Yes, sir.
point is when to end it when the digit becomes single. At this point, you will not give to the other service department. This is the rule.
Yes, sir. Okay, sir. Rule, okay, sir.
Understood?
Yes, sir. Understood.
Everything.
Thank you, sir.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
Sushmita, madam.
Sir, I have one question. So basically, we are segregating like all the service charge ka cost. We are apportioning it to the production department only at the end, right? Then, uh,
You should not say production department. You should say that department which is using my service. So whoever
okay.
uses, see, logically, whoever uses my service has to bear my cost. Na? So
Yes.
I'm charging my cost. I'm giving the share of my cost to all those persons who have used my service. So here, if the other service department has used my service, I'm even giving my share of cost to that other department.
Yes, and then again that cost which is going to the service department, that is also again getting apportioned to the production department.
Why? Because see, ultimately, service department have to give their cost to production only. Because
Mm,
production department is the department where products are getting manufactured. Service is only supporting them, right?
yeah.
So whoever is
Okay, so this
supporting,
is just like we have to show it. So that is why we are do giving this kind
not
of
show,
sheet.
we have to charge it. The correct word is
Okay,
charge. See,
charge it.
I am a
Okay.
service department. I am not going to recover the money from customers. Who is going to recover the money from customers? You. Why? Because you are production department, you are making products for the customer. So customer are going to pay to you, right? But if I am incurring some cost, I cannot charge it to customer. So through you, I am charging it to the customer. Are you getting the logic?
Yes, sir.
So by charging my cost to you, you are adding that cost, my cost also in your price, and now you are recovering this amount from customer. So your and mine both costs get recovered from customer.
Yes, sir.
Correct?
Yes, sir. Understood.
Logic is clear.
Yes, sir.
This total people are saying 141, 173 something. Yes, Pooja.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, beta. Please tell me.
Sir, these costs are included in cost sheet or actual cost will be taken in cost sheet, sir.
नहीं, अभी देखो, अभी हम कहाँ पे हैं पूजा, समझिए। ये एक वर्किंग नोट है, कॉस्ट शीट आपका यहाँ पे है ऊपर। ठीक है, ये अभी आपने, एक मिनट में आपको पिछला वाला शीट भी ओपन कर देता हूँ। जब हमने पिछला वाला शीट, ये देखो, ये कॉस्ट शीट है।
Yes,
ठीक
sir.
है, अब ध्यान देना, ये जो मेरा प्रोडक्शन ओवरहेड्स है, हम इसको चार्ज करने वाले हैं कौन से मेथड से? देखो, दो मेथड्स थे। एवरीबडी प्लीज पे अटेंशन। देयर वर टू मेथड्स फॉर चार्जिंग द कॉस्ट। वन वाज सिंगल मेथड, पूरा एक ही बार में चार्ज कर दो, या डिपार्टमेंटल मेथड। अब ये मेरे वो डिपार्टमेंट से जिनको अभी नाम हम दे रहे हैं एबीसी। ठीक है ना? आई होप यू आर कनेक्टिंग।
Yes, sir.
अब मुझे जो चार्ज करना है कॉस्ट शीट में, वो प्रोडक्शन डिपार्टमेंट का कॉस्ट तीन अलग अलग डिपार्टमेंट के नाम से चार्ज करना है। ए का कॉस्ट, बी का कॉस्ट, सी का कॉस्ट। क्योंकि मेरे प्रोडक्शन डिपार्टमेंट्स तीन है, एबीसी, करेक्ट?
Yes, sir.
मगर मेरे पास प्रोडक्शन यानी फैक्ट्री में सिर्फ तीन डिपार्टमेंट्स नहीं है, और दो है। कौन? एक्स और वाई, जो सर्विस दे रहे हैं किसको? एबीसी को। अब हमारे पांचों डिपार्टमेंट मिलके खर्चा कर रहे हैं, मगर हम कॉस्ट शीट में सिर्फ चार्ज कौन से डिपार्टमेंट्स का कॉस्ट करेंगे? एबीसी का। तो हम क्या करते हैं, एबीसी एक्स वाई सबका पहले कॉस्ट निकाल लेते हैं जो हमने प्राइमरी में किया, और फिर एक्स और वाई का कॉस्ट हम वापस एबीसी को चार्ज कर देते हैं, सो दैट एक्स और वाई का भी कॉस्ट एबीसी के नाम से हम कस्टमर से रिकवर कर सके। सो अभी जो चल रहा है वो कॉस्ट शीट नहीं है, कॉस्ट शीट ये है। यहाँ पे कॉस्ट शीट में क्या नाम से खर्चा दिखेगा? डायरेक्ट मटेरियल, डायरेक्ट लेबर, डायरेक्ट एक्सपेंस, प्रोडक्शन ओवरहेड्स, एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन, सेलिंग। प्रोडक्शन ओवरहेड्स क्या नाम से दिखेगा? डिपार्टमेंट ए, डिपार्टमेंट बी, डिपार्टमेंट सी। पर डिपार्टमेंट एबीसी का कितना चार्ज करना है, वो टोटल निकालने के लिए हमने पहले सारे खर्चों को एबीसी एक्स वाई में डिवाइड किया। दिस वाज प्राइमरी डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन। और अब हम सेकेंडरी में क्या कर रहे हैं, एक्स और वाई का खर्चा भी एबीसी में डिवाइड कर रहे हैं, क्योंकि अल्टीमेटली प्रोडक्ट में आप चार्ज सिर्फ एबीसी का खर्चा करोगे। सो कॉस्ट शीट अभी हम जो कर रहे हैं वो कॉस्ट शीट नहीं है। अभी हम जो कर रहे हो कॉस्ट शीट के अंदर का वर्किंग नोट है। कॉस्ट शीट यहाँ पे आएगा, कॉस्ट शीट आने पर को अभी टाइम है। इज दिस क्लियर पूजा?
Yes, sir. सर, ये जो इसे हम एब्जॉर्प्शन कॉस्ट कहेंगे, राइट सर?
नहीं,
जो
पूरा
कॉस्ट।
कॉस्टिंग, एक चीज समझो, एब्जॉर्प्शन ये जो शब्द है, ये कॉस्टिंग का ही पैरेलल शब्द है। तो जब हम बोलते हैं मैं कॉस्टिंग कर रहा हूं, उसी को हम पैरेलली बोलेंगे मैं एब्जॉर्प्शन कर रहा हूं। एब्जॉर्ब करना मतलब क्या? अभी ये समझो, ये खर्चा एक्स और वाई का इन लोगों ने एब्जॉर्ब कर लिया। एक्स और वाई का खर्चा आपने ए और बी में ऐड कर दिया, मतलब मैं क्या बोलूंगा, ए और बी ने एक्स और वाई का खर्चा एब्जॉर्ब कर लिया। तो पूरा कॉस्टिंग ही एब्जॉर्प्शन है। हम पहले खर्चा क्या कर रहे हैं, हम पहले खर्चा मटेरियल, लेबर, ये सब नाम से अलग अलग कर रहे हैं, और फिर मटेरियल, लेबर और ओवरहेड्स ये सब नाम से खर्चा हम अल्टीमेटली हमारे प्रोडक्ट को चार्ज कर रहे हैं। इन अदर वर्ड्स, प्रोडक्ट ये सारा खर्चा अपने में एब्जॉर्ब कर रहा है। ये जो टोटल कॉस्ट आपको आएगी इस प्रोडक्ट की, ये जिसका भी कॉस्ट शीट है, समझो ये है आपका प्रोडक्ट जिसका नाम है, अपन ने लास्ट टाइम किया एक एग्जांपल लिया था प्रोडक्ट का, हेडफोन्स। ये हेडफोन्स का कॉस्टिंग चल रहा है। तो अल्टीमेटली आपने हेडफोन्स में जितने भी खर्चे ऐड किए हैं, ये आपका हेडफोन का जब टोटल कॉस्ट बनेगा, इसी को मैं दूसरी भाषा में क्या करूंगा, जैसे हम इंग्लिश में बोलते हैं ना एक्टिव वॉइस पैसिव वॉइस, सो एक्टिव वॉइस में मैं क्या बोलूंगा कि हेडफोन ने ये सारा खर्चा एब्जॉर्ब कर दिया। उसी शब्द को मैं पैसिव सेंटेंस में क्या बोलूंगा, मैंने सारा खर्चा हेडफोन को चार्ज किया। सो एब्जॉर्प्शन ये शब्द कॉस्टिंग का ही पैरेलल शब्द है। आप कॉस्टिंग कहो या एब्जॉर्प्शन कहो, इट मींस वन एंड द सेम थिंग।
Okay, sir.
सी
Thank you,
धीरे धीरे
sir.
क्या होगा, आपको ये टेक्निकल शब्दों का अर्थ समझेगा, मगर आप एकदम सही लाइन पे जा रहे हो। आई एम वेरी हैप्पी कि योर थॉट प्रोसेस इज वेरी करेक्ट, एंड बिकॉज ऑफ दिस क्वेश्चन मेनी पीपल आई थिंक वुड हैव गॉट मोर क्लैरिटी अबाउट कि अभी जो हम कर रहे हैं वो अल्टीमेटली कॉस्ट शीट से कैसे रिलेटेड है। सो कॉस्ट शीट ये अलग चीज है, अभी हम कॉस्ट शीट नहीं कर रहे हैं, हम कॉस्ट शीट का एक वर्किंग नोट कर रहे हैं। यहाँ का जो टोटल आएगा, ये आज के लेक्चर के एंड तक मैं आपको कॉस्ट शीट तक लेके जाऊंगा। मतलब ये जो फिगर आनी है कॉस्ट शीट में, ये कैसे आनी है, ये आज लेक्चर के एंड तक आएगा। अभी हम इसके पहले ही हैं, अभी हम इसके वर्किंग नोट में। ठीक ठीक है बेटा।
Okay, sir.
बट गुड क्वेश्चन, वेरी
Thank you,
गुड
sir.
क्वेश्चन बेटा। थैंक यू फॉर द क्वेश्चन।
Hello, sir. Lohit
रोहित,
here.
प्लीज टेल मी।
Sir, I just wanted to know if we start from Y, like instead of distributing the X amount in the starting and getting it to zero and then distributing the Y, if we had started from Y, will the amounts change?
ट्राइट, ट्राइट, if it is repeated method, right, the present method,
Yeah.
whether you start from x or y, the answer will be same, because it is maths. You can try doing from y, no problem. You'll get exactly same answer. Fractionally some 50 paise, half a rupee, point 0.6 something difference will be there, but that is only rounding off difference, Lohit.
Oh, okay.
Do one thing when you will be solving question number 5 as homework, right?
Yeah.
Because for 6 I'm solving, 5 will be your homework. In 5 you definitely try your method. See, again I appreciate this approach, that you should not only think from one angle, you should think what will happen if anything, if other option is selected. Why you should always think that way? Because that will make your concepts more stronger. So again I am thanking you for this question, and I will ask everyone कि जब आप question 5 solve करोगे homework में, आपने पहले y को distribute करना है, but this rule applies only in repeated, क्योंकि डायरेक्ट में तो वैसे भी एक्स और वाई करोगे फर्क ही नहीं पड़ता, बिकॉज एक्स और वाई एक दूसरे को दे ही नहीं रहे। स्टेप लैडर इज डिफरेंट, क्योंकि स्टेप लैडर में एक्स ही वाई को दे रहा है, वाई एक्स को नहीं दे रहा है, तो आप वाई का एक्स को डिवाइड वैसे भी नहीं करने वाले हो। आर यू गेटिंग दिस पॉइंट, लोहित?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That is what I wanted to ask. Like in the production final, when we are taking into question, will the price vary if I take either way?
It will not you, but you'll have to try this. So whatever is your question, I have given you answer. But see, you should not take the answers. You should evaluate the answers. How you will evaluate? Now you will solve question 5 at home by taking y first and then x. Right, beta? But
Sure.
I've given you the answer. Mathematically, you will get the same answer.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay, students, I hope this is clear. I hope you all are getting these totals. So this is the repeated method, which is part of which category? Reciprocal. So what is reciprocal? Maithili, you still have a doubt, beta? Should I unmute you? Or it was old?
Yes, sir. My doubt is relating to not this question. This, my doubt is as per yesterday's last class, you said formulas, right? Departmental rate
Huh, huh.
in this, molding, shaping, and finishing. That formula is where we need to use.
Sorry.
That formula where we need to use.
This formula, na?
Which question? Ah, yes, sir.
We are coming
Molding,
to this.
shaping.
See, we are still a step before this. So
Yes,
after
sir.
I complete this secondary distribution, then we'll come to this formula. So see,
Yes,
firstly,
for
what I'm doing right now, understand this. Now you all are asking very good questions. So I'm first trying to find out this. I'm yet to find out these figures. See, that day I told you ki I'll give you the last first. See, when you know
yes,
the
sir.
last, ki where you have to reach. Now when I go from back to last, you'll now understand the steps. So now I'm yet to find out this. Right now I don't know this. Just understand it.
Numerator only, yes, a numerator only. Just now we will find.
Ah, correct. You all are correct.
Yes,
So we are still finding out this numerator.
yes, sir. And
So
in the exam point of view, we find out these questions primary and secondary distributions. We have
everything,
only I'm asking 5 marks or 4 marks only, or how many
No, no, no,
marks
no.
for this question?
See. If it is only primary and only secondary, it will be 4 marks. But many times in the
Okay,
question, you get everything. Primary, secondary, and even finding out this, the final part. So then it will
okay,
be around 6 to 7 marks question, at times even 8 marks question.
yes, sir. Understood.
So see
Thank
the
you, sir.
number of workings they are asking you to do, the number of
Yes,
marks increase. So if
yes,
only
sir.
primary or only secondary, it is 4 marks, three
Yes,
marks.
sir.
If it is primary, secondary, both, it is 7 marks. It is primary, secondary plus finding out this last step, it is 8 marks.
Yes, sir.
We'll do
Understood.
that. We'll do that everything today. But I'm really
Yes,
happy
sir.
that now you all are actually understanding the logic. So
Yes, sir.
continuing with Pooja's question, then Lohit's question, and now your question, we are now finding out this. So what we are doing in primary and secondary is to find out this numerator. So right now I don't know the numerator.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yes, Diksha beta.
सर आई एम आस्किंग दैट कि जो हमने मटेरियल कॉस्टिंग में किया और एम्प्लॉयज कॉस्टिंग में किया वो हम कॉस्ट शीट में उसका टोटल जो है वो हम कॉस्ट शीट में डालेंगे
यहाँ पे ये रहा, सी दिस। आपने जो मटेरियल कॉस्ट में, अच्छा आपको याद है आपने मटेरियल कॉस्ट में क्या निकाला? आपने यही निकाला मटेरियल कॉस्ट में, चार्जिंग प्राइस। कैसे निकाला
यस
आपने
सर
चार्जिंग प्राइस मटेरियल कॉस्ट का? आपने न्यूमरेटर में लिया टोटल लैंडेड कॉस्ट ऑफ मटेरियल, करेक्ट। डिनोमिनेटर में आपने
यस
क्या
सर
लिया? मटेरियल के परचेज माइनस नॉर्मल लॉस के यूनिट्स। ऐसा ही कुछ किया आपने मटेरियल में?
यस सर
Everybody, please pay attention because now we are consolidating costing. So what you studied in material was you did this same thing. See, हम जो यहाँ पे ये कर रहे हैं ना, what we are doing this for overheads, the same thing you did in material. सिर्फ overheads में स्टेप थोड़े ज्यादा है। मटेरियल में क्या था? आपने क्या किया? सेम चीज की। आपने मटेरियल में हर एक मटेरियल का टोटल कॉस्ट निकाला, जिसको वहां पे नाम दिया टोटल लैंडेड कॉस्ट या टोटल मटेरियल कॉस्ट, और उसको डिवाइड किसके किया? मटेरियल के जो यूनिट्स
ओके
आपने ऑर्डर किए थे, परचेज किए थे, माइनस जो नॉर्मल लॉस हुआ। तो आपको क्या मिला? ये प्राइस मिला, चार्जिंग प्राइस, करेक्ट ना?
यस सर
एम्प्लॉय कॉस्ट में भी आपने क्या किया? एम्प्लॉय का चार्जिंग प्राइस या चार्जिंग रेट निकाला। कैसे? आपने न्यूमरेटर में लिया कॉस्ट टू कंपनी। सी ये सब टेक्निकल नाम है। कॉस्ट टू कंपनी मतलब टोटल लेबर कॉस्ट। टोटल लेबर कॉस्ट में क्या आएगा? उसका वेजेस, उसका आपने जो अलाउंसेस दिया है, उसके लिए आपने जो प्रोविडेंट फंड में पैसे डाले हैं, आपने उसको जो परक्विजिट दिया है, एवरीथिंग बिकम्स कॉस्ट टू कंपनी डिवाइडेड बाय लेबर आवर्स जितने वो प्रेजेंट था, माइनस लेबर का नॉर्मल लॉस जिसे हम आइडल टाइम बोलते हैं। वापस आपको क्या मिला? लेबर का चार्जिंग रेट जो आपने यहां पे लिया,
ओके
करेक्ट।
सर
एंड
ओके
नाउ वी आर स्टडिंग द सेम थिंग फॉर ओवरहेड्स। अभी हम ओवरहेड्स में क्या पढ़ रहे हैं? ये हाउ टू फाइंड आउट ओवरहेड्स का चार्जिंग रेट। सो वी आर एग्जैक्टली स्टडिंग द सेम थिंग। नाउ वी आर गोइंग टू फाइंड आउट दिस चार्जिंग रेट फॉर ओवरहेड्स। कैसे आएगा वो? फॉर एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव एंड फॉर सेलिंग वो एक ही बार में आ जाएगा। आप टोटल कॉस्ट ढूंढ लोगे एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव की, डिवाइडेड बाय बेस कर दोगे, आपको उसका चार्जिंग रेट आ गया। सो यहाँ पे ये रेट मेरे को एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव का मिल गया 2000 पर समथिंग। वैसे मैंने सेलिंग डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन का एक बार में निकाल लिया। न्यूमरेटर में सेलिंग डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन कॉस्ट, डिनोमिनेटर में उसका बेस, मुझे मिल गया 1500। मैंने यहाँ पे ले लिया 1500। अब मैं सेम एक स्टेप में प्रोडक्शन का भी निकाल सकता था जिससे बोलते हैं सिंगल रेट और ब्लैंकेट रेट, बट वी डिड नॉट डू दैट। वी वेंट इनटू मोर डिटेल। सो वी आर फाइंडिंग आउट द प्रोडक्शन चार्जिंग रेट इन डिपार्टमेंट वाइज, दैट इज व्हाई इट इज कॉल्ड एज डिपार्टमेंटल रेट। So what you did in material labor, same thing we are doing in overheads. Everything is same, only the terminologies and the process is different. But ultimately, we are doing everything for reaching the cost sheet.
ओके सर थैंक यू
Students, I hope everybody is now. I'm really very happy with the questions that all of you all have asked, because I think that has made everybody's understanding of the subject very clear. In fact, now we have understood key where we are reaching. And that is why, if you remember, when I started with the conceptual part, I first showed you the cost sheet so that whenever you will get this question in mind, ki, acha, why we are doing this, where will this be used? So you know it will be used here. So whatever we are doing to reach here, the cost sheet, so that I can find out total cost of my product, which is the main purpose of costing. Students, is this fine? Everybody, everything clear? Diksha is saying that means when we are calculating material cost. No, no, one thing, beta. EOQ is not for calculating cost. See, EOQ is a technique for controlling material cost. So in EOQ, you are not finding out total cost for costing. Yes, LIFO, FIFO, and all that is giving you the cost. You're right. So Diksha is saying that means when we are calculating material cost by EOQ or by any other like FIFO, LIFO total, we have to post indirect material and then wages. And so you're right, but EOQ is not giving you total cost of material for costing. It is giving you for controlling. By EOQ technique, we take a decision as to how much quantity we should order so that my total cost will be less. So EOQ is in the second category. Right now, what we are discussing is costing. EOQ is coming in the category of cost control. So you have studied a lot of cost control techniques like EOQ, stock level in materials chapter. But in labor and in overhead chapter, we are not studying much of control techniques. Means there is a topic on control, but it is very theory. But only in material you have studied the control techniques, which is done by practical solving. But yes, FIFO, LIFO, what you are getting is the amount that you are getting for the purpose of putting in cost sheet. You are right. Lohit, I don't think so. We would have found a better explanation. Exactly. In fact, I also don't think I could have explained cost sheet better without your questions. That is why I'm thanking all of you that because of your questions, and interestingly, see how luck works. Your questions came in the exact sequence. So Pooja asked something, you asked something, then somebody asked something, and then finally now Maithili asked something. So it luckily fell in the sequence. No, Khushi, please understand the logical mistake that you are doing is you are taking 90%. I am not taking percentage. I am taking ratio. So when I'm ignoring last ratio, treating the remaining 50, 25, 15 not as a percentage. I'm treating it as 50 is to 25 is to 15. What you are doing is you are still taking 50%, 25%, 15%. Then there will be a gap. So I'm not taking it as a percentage. When I'm ignoring the last one, it is not a percentage. Right, Kushi? I hope you got this because you had asked this question earlier also. But since I was in a flow of explaining the cost sheet logic, I did not answer your question. But I hope now you understood this. Yes, beta Kushi. Kushi, I'm waiting for your confirmation. Perfect. Now we are in the category of reciprocal. What is reciprocal? When both service departments are giving services to one another. X is giving to Y, Y is giving to X. And how to solve this? That we studied from this concept or method called as repeated. But repeated is very painful. Okay, I enjoy doing it because I like solving. So I enjoyed solving. I was in fact by solving it again and again. It was for me like a game. As I gave you example, na, we are sharing the piece of cake again and again. So that was the fun for me solving. But still in exams or in real life, so doing so many steps can be cumbersome, can be time consuming. So can we go for a shortcut? The answer is yes. I will give you the same answer what is there on your screen by distributing the overheads only once. This is what is our simultaneous equation method. So I'm solving question 6 again. So we are repeating this step of secondary distribution again by the next method, which is the simultaneous equation method, right? So same heading, statement showing secondary distribution of production overheads, right? Same particulars, amount, basis, production, and service. Basis, production, service. Students, please bear with the short forms just to save time and get time to explain you more, I'm using short forms as per PDS, that is primary distribution statement. How much is the amount? It is 80, 90, 120, 40, 30. 80, 90, 120, 30, 40. Correct. Now, students, by distributing it only once, Department X expenses, Department Y's expenses. By distributing it only once, I will get the same answer what I have got above. So I'm directly first writing the answer, right? So I'm getting 108,162.8. Slightly fraction may differ, 110,662.8 and 141,173. And this is nil, this is nil. Students, I'll get the same answer. But how? Now by using another approach, which is a mathematical approach. So we are still in the reciprocal method category. And here, now I'm going to use the simultaneous equation. So this is what we are doing now. Now, for getting this answer, I have to do small working. What is the working? I have to create a simultaneous equation. Now, what is the logic of simultaneous equation? See, how much is the total expense of department X? It is its own expense plus whatever share it is getting of department Y. Correct? So let this be called X. So what be called X? Total expense of department X be called X, right? Similarly, what will be the total expense of department Y? It is again own expense of department Y plus whatever share it is getting of department X. Again, let this be called Y. So total expense of department Y, let it be called Y. So now I'm creating the simultaneous equation. X, what is X? X is total expense of department X. How it is to be calculated? Own expense plus share of Y. Now here you have to be careful. I'm going to the question. So what is the expense of X? Own expense of X? The own expense of X is 40,000. Now please pay attention. How much share it is going to get from Y? It is going to get 10% from Y. So what is my equation? 40,000 plus 10%. 10% of what? 10% of total Y. Because whatever will be Y, as Y will get expense, 10% will get taken for that. Now this becomes my equation A. Similarly, I make equation Y. What is Y? Y is total expense of Y, own expense plus share in X. Again, I go back to the question. How much is expense of Y? 30,000. What it is going to get from X as the share? 20% of X. So my equation is 30,000 plus 20% of X. What X? This X, total X. Because whatever is X, every time X will give 20% to Y. Students, I hope you all are getting this. Now, I don't know how much you like simultaneous in your schools when you are doing this, but here it is going to be very interesting. It is fun. Why fun? because it is simple to solve. Now I have two equations. I don't have to do what I did in school. In school, I remember we used to try to equate this by dividing, multiply. Don't do anything. Simple. Here I have said y, and what is y is this. I substitute y here. So what I will say, substituting value of y in equation A, we get, right? Now this is how you all used to write in your schools. So now I'm rewriting equation A, which is x is equal to 40,000. But how? By substituting the value of y here. Now what is our equation? 10% of y. So I'm writing 10% of. Now this is multiplication sign. What is y? Y is this. 30,000 plus 20% x. I'll do one thing. I'll remove this multiplication sign. Otherwise, there will be a confusion. So I have to take 10% of this. Now I'll open the bracket. So 40,000 plus 10% of 30,000 is 3,000, no doubt. Plus, now pay attention. 10% of 20% x. Now, firstly, what is 20% x? 20% x is 0.2x. Be clear. Don't haste in any calculation, students. So already 20% x is there, which means it is 0.2x. And I have to take 10% of 0.2. So this becomes 0.02x. So this is now my equation, which I get by substituting value of y in the first equation. Now I'll solve it. So here x, this x will come on this side, so it is minus 0.2x. So this is the left hand side of my equation. And what is the right hand side? It is 43,000. Now this x means 1. I'm sure you all know this basics of algebra. So this x means 1. 1 minus 0.02 is 0.98x. Therefore, I will get x. How? 43,000 divided by 0.98. Chalo, tell me. I'll also do it. I'm using my mobile for this because somehow I don't have habit of using calculators. So I don't even keep calculators. And nowadays your gadgets are calculators. So it is giving me something 43,878. I'm rounding it off. I'm not keeping that 0.5. It is 877.5. So I've done it 878. Right, students? Now, see the magic of maths. See the magic of maths. So I've got this. What is the total of x? What is total? X cost plus whatever share it is getting from y. Total is 43,887. Now I come back to my, I have to divide department X expense, but which expense? Not the original one. Not original one. This one which I derived from this 43,878. So now what I will divide of x is 43,878. Basis is already given in the question. What is the basis? X is giving 20, 25, 35, 20. 20. Now, interestingly, I had 30,000 of x, but how much I am dividing this. So whatever I am dividing, I'll subtract it. See, we used to subtract whatever we have divided. So subtract whatever you are dividing. Now, interestingly, after this is going to become negative for the first time. Why? Because you have divided more. Chalo, tell me the figures which each department will be getting. Meenu is saying X is 40,000, not 30,000. Meenu, if you tell it right now, it means whatever we did, everything is in vain. Oh shit, X is 40, not 30. 1 second then. Students, wait. One second. Thank you, Meenu. But I hope here I have written correctly. Yes, in my solving, I've taken excess 41. Correct. Thank you, Meenu, for correcting at the right time. Otherwise, after solving, there would have been a problem. So now this is minus 3878. Correct. Now tell me how much you are getting for ABC. Thank you, Meenu. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, yes. Okay, we have corrected. Now tell me how much division you are getting. Please keep checking. I'm ignoring the fraction. I'm rounding off the figures, which is allowed. You all can take fraction if you want to be too precise, but that will not change the answer. So 8 and 8, 6, 6 and 9, 5, 5 and 7 is 2. Something wrong. Please tell me, students, the figures. 87751096 8775. Okay, it is 5. That is why I was getting it wrong. 10969 15357 15357, and again then it will be 5. Now is it correct now? 5 and 5, 10. 10. Again there is two difference, students. If I'm taking this, let me see. Okay, so I should take 6. Okay, understood. Of it is 0.5, so it will be 6. Correct. Now, students, so first time you have got negative here, right? Now this is 38776. Divide 38776. Divide it in the ratio of y. What is the ratio of y? 50, 25, 15, 10. 50, 25, 15, 10. See the beauty. You get exactly 3878 here. So this becomes nil. You have distributed this. This becomes nil. And whatever you are going to get here, the total will be this only. You have to do it yourself. I am taking my break. So students, complete this. I'm on my break of 15 minutes. You will get break of 10 minutes only because 5 minutes will require to complete this. But this is the magic of maths. So 15 minutes break start, students. For me, for you, you will first complete this. Check whether it is matching with the previous total or not. If it is matching, you should thank maths. Chalo, 15 minutes break. Did you all get the answer? Is it matching? Is the magic working for you? Yes, Pushpendra. So you're right. Even if you do it the other way around, like what Lohit had said, instead of taking x, you take y. So you can do the same thing. In this equation, you substitute the value of x in equation 2, that is equation b, you'll still get the answer because that is maths. This is the magic of maths. Correct, students? Now, now we were discussing some queries, and in those queries, one very interesting point had come that why are we doing all this? What is the purpose? So now I'll conclude this. So see where you have reached. You have reached to the point where you have got total overheads of each department. Correct? Now what you have to do is you have to find out ORR. That is the overhead recovery rate or charging rate. How? Divide this total overheads by a suitable base. Now what could be the base? The base could be machine hours. The base could be labor hours. The base could be units. Anything. Now what base has to be selected? The rule says it depends upon the nature of the working of that department. If that department is more machine oriented, you will take machine hour as the basis. If that department is labor oriented, you will take labor hour as the basis. And if that department is not having machine or labor as the prime focus, then you can simply take units as the basis. So this overheads that we have got finally of production department A, you divide it by the machine hours of A to get the overhead charging rate of A. So I go back to our original point. So this is now where we have reached. I have got this numerator of department A. How much I have got? So chalo, I'll substitute the value from here. I have got 108162 or 163 rounded 108163 divided by machine hours of A. So I will get the ORR for charging A. Similarly for B, I will take the overheads that I have got for B, which is 110663, again rounded. So it is 110663 divided by labor hours of B, because B is, let us say, done majorly by labor. It is a labor driven department. And then third, then for third department, we'll take the overheads of third department, which has come to 141,173. So here it is 140, 141,173 divided by units. So you get charging rates for production department A, for production department B, for production department C. And then now when you will prepare cost sheet, you'll use those rates here for charging overheads to a product. Now, how you will charge overheads to a product? Now, please pay attention. Now, by this step of primary, secondary, and then whatever total you got in secondary, you divided it by the base, you got the overhead charging rate for each department. Now, please be connected to me. Department A's base was machine hours. How much? How many machine hours were there? Please pay attention. 80,000. Now, this 80,000 is for the whole year, for the whole business. And let us say this rate. Now, see, I'm not going by the actual figure. I'm just roughly calculating. This rate comes as 12.5. Just simple. This rate comes as 1.10. Simple. And this rate comes as rupees something 6 is 155.8. Example, I'm not taking the actual figures. Now, this is 80,000 for the whole year. This is 1 lakh for the whole year. This is 25,000 units for the whole year. Now, out of 80,000 today, for this one product, for this month, how many machine hours are being used? Let us say out of 80,000, 6,300 machine hours are used here. Out of 1 lakh labor hours, how many labor hours are used here? Let us say 9,500 labor hours are used. And how many units are made out of total? Let us say 600 units are made. So now I will charge my overheads. How? My rate for A was 12.5 per machine hour. This was per labor hour, and this was per unit. So 12.5, 1.1, and 5.8. So 12.5, 1.1, 5.8. Now this is how I'll charge the overheads of department A, B, and C over here. So my production overheads will be charged department wise. This is what is the departmental overhead charging concept. Is this clear, students? Tamanna beta, in repeated method, 15.2 will be divided between A and B and C by taking only the ratios of A, B, C. So let us say it is 50, 25, 35. You will ignore the last one. So divide 15.2 only in the 3 ratio. You are getting wrong because you are taking the ratio as percentage. Don't take it as percentage. Even though it is given as percentage, take it as ratio. Tamanna. Students, did you get the overall overheads charging steps complete up to cost sheet? So we did first primary, then secondary, total of secondary divided by base. So we got the ORR. Now this ORR we calculate at the start of the year, and then throughout the year, whenever we are doing production of any product, we will use these rates like here I did. So this is one of the cost sheet of one of the products in throughout the year. This is today, I have completed this product. So I'll charge overheads which I calculated at the start of the year, and this overheads will be charged. Every product will be charged like this only throughout the year. Hemin, please ask specific question. When you say last part means so many things. So be very specific or I'll unmute you, raise your hand. You can ask me, it will be more better.
Hello, sir.
Hi,
I
beta.
was asking regarding the as you divided into the production overhead, administration overhead, the
Sorry. Please
three
repeat.
different costs.
Please repeat.
Uh, I'm asking regarding like have you divided the ABC like 6,300 into hours and everything, like production overhead and administrative overhead.
Divided or multiplied?
Sorry, multiplied it.
Please better be clear with your questions. First, you'll understand what you want to ask. Because if you're asking wrong questions, maybe what answer I'll give you will not be of any use to you all. So now what is your question? Please be very clear. First think properly and then ask me the question. What you want to ask here, tell me.
So as you have stated, like for you it's for product A it is 6,300 into 12.5 and
So
everything.
out of
So
this, what you have
I'm
not
not
understood? What you have not understood in A?
like like how did you get those amounts? Like I'm not able to understand
Did
them.
you not get this where I get this from 12.5?
Yes, I got that.
We got it. See, in fact, the whole working was to get this 12.5 only. So in my another sheet where we did primary and secondary, we found out this numerator, correct? After secondary,
Yes,
this is what answer you are also are having in your books. We got this department A's total overheads as 108163. You have this. We solved it just now before the break, correct?
yes.
Now this is the total hours for which my department A is going to work throughout the year. So total overheads of the year divided by total hours of the year. So roughly, let us say this is now this is not precise 12.5. I don't know. I have not spend time on calculating. Just let us assume this division is coming as 12.5, right?
Yeah.
So
Okay.
what I've got that for working my department A throughout the year, I spent roughly how much for department A per machine hour of department A? I spent 12.5. This is for all the expenses of department A, which includes the depreciation of the machines, the rent of the factory, the light bill of the factory, the wages of the indirect wages of the workers in this factory. So I've taken all expenses. So this total of my numerator covers all the expenses. So first from primary to secondary, we got this total. I hope you are clear with this. Then I took the
Yes.
total hours of the department. So my department is expected to work for 80,000 machine hours will be worked in this year. So roughly I got that per hour, my cost of depreciation, light bill and all expenses of this department per hour is coming as 12.5. Similarly, I did the second ORR for my second department, which is shaping fitting department, which in my question is called as department B. This amount again, I'm sure you have got in our pre-break discussion. The total of department B was 1,10,663, correct? You got that?
Yes. Yes.
Now again, this department B for the whole year is going to work for 1 lakh labor hours. So I divided by 1 lakh labor hours. So I roughly got that per labor hour. What is my cost? So department B's depreciation, department B's light bill, department B's indirect wages, all that per labor hour is coming as 1.1. Is this clear?
Yes, that's clear.
So you are clear up to these rates, right?
Yes, I'm clear up to that
Now,
rates.
all
Yes.
this is done on budgeted basis, which is right now we are doing. We are in the month of February. In February and March, all companies do this for the next year. So this I've done for the next year. So next year, what I'm going to do, I'm budgeting it now and I'm finding out my charging rates now. Is this clear?
Yes.
Now, what am I making? Let us say I'm boat company, BOAT. I'm sure you all would have heard these names, boat.
Yes.
So I make all types of electronic gadgets. So let us say now I am required to do costing of one of my electronic gadgets, that is the headphones or the earbuds, right?
Yes.
So out of hundreds of the products which I am going to make throughout the year, right now I'm doing costing of only one of the products, that is the headphones that both companies selling, which you all are buying online, correct?
Yes.
Now in material chapter, you got the material charging price by this formula. In the labor chapter, you got the
Yes.
labor charging rate by this formula, and in overhead chapter, we found out the overhead charging rate. Now, what I'm doing is, now when I'm doing costing of headphones, now this is one of the products of which I'm doing costing. What I will take everything applicable to this one product. Similarly, so now I'm answering your question. What is this 6,300 hours? I have taken this as an assumed figure that for making the headphones, out of the total production of all products, how much machine hours will be required for headphones? 6,300. How many machine hours I am expected to work throughout the year? Here I taken the figure as 80,000. So this 80,000 is for all
Ye-
products. This 1
Yes.
lakh is for all products. Total all products is
Yes.
2,500 units throughout the year. Out of that, this one product of whose costing I'm doing, out of 80,000, it is going to take 6,300 hours of machine in department A. In department B, total labor hours for all the products was 1 lakh. Out of that, this product is using 9,500. And out of total 2,500 products, this product is only having 600 units. So these are my assumed figures just to explain you how costing will be completed. That is right from what you studied in material, labor, and now overheads, how it is concluding in cost sheet. This is what I have explained. Now, is it clear to you, Hemin Beda?
Yes. Yes, sir. It's clear now.
If still there is a question, please ask me because
No, no,
these
it's
are the
clear
main
now.
crucial questions in understanding.
No, it's clear now. Thank you, sir.
Perfect. Tamanna, did you get the answer? Kushi has given you the answer. Is it clear, Tamanna? Or you still want me to show the calculation? What mistake you are doing is you are no means what you it is clear or not clear. Tamanna, do one thing. Please raise your hand. I'll unmute you. Please ask me the question so that I can answer you upfront if still it is not clear. Yes, Pooja.
Sir, sir, all these figures in which we have taken this rate 12.5, these are budgeted, sir. And
बजटेड, वेरी गुड, करेक्ट, एट द स्टार्ट ऑफ द ईयर। अभी हम लोग वही कर रहे हैं। अभी कौन सा मंथ चल रहा है? फेब्रुवरी। फेब्रुवरी और मार्च में सारे कंपनीज ये पूरा बजटिंग कर रही है। जो ये नीचे हमने लिखा है ना, ये सारा बजट, सारे फिगर्स बजटेड एट द स्टार्ट ऑफ द ईयर। यस, गो हेड, आस्क योर क्वेश्चन।
so, sir, in this case, sir, this rate is on the basis of budgeted, sir, and
Yes, so these are on the basis of estimates. These are our estimated rates.
6,300 is actual hour,
Not
and
necessary actual. See, understand one thing. Out of 80,000, 80,000 is also budgeted hours.
yes, sir.
Now tell me one thing. I'm asking you one question. I'm making hundreds of products. I'm boat company, right? मुझे मेरे प्रोडक्ट्स का कॉस्टिंग पहले करना है, प्रोडक्ट बनाने के पहले, या प्रोडक्ट सारे बनने के बाद करना है कॉस्टिंग? कब करते हैं हम कॉस्टिंग?
पहले, सर।
सिंपल। तो ये 6,300 आवर्स कौन से हो गए?
ये भी एस्टिमेटेड है, सर।
एग्जैक्टली, एंटायर कॉस्टिंग इज ऑन एस्टिमेटेड बेसिस। क्यों? क्योंकि जब ये ईयर शुरू होगा ना 1 अप्रैल को, उस दिन आप जब कोई भी ऑनलाइन फोरम पे जाओगे, आप सारे मेरे प्रोडक्ट्स के प्राइसेस देखोगे, मेरे और मेरे कॉम्पिटिटर्स के, और फिर आपको जो प्रोडक्ट समझ में आएगा आप वो सिलेक्ट करोगे। यानी प्रोडक्ट बेचने के क्या, बनाने के भी पहले मुझे उनके प्राइसेस फिक्स करने पड़ते हैं, क्योंकि हम प्राइसेस पहले बताते हैं, प्रोडक्ट में भी बाद में बनता है। आर यू गेटिंग दिस?
यस, सर। लेकिन सर, एक्चुअल जो खर्चा होगा वो तो अलग ही होगा।
वेरी गुड। अभी मेरा इस पॉइंट के बाद अगला पॉइंट वही है कि जब एक्चुअल खर्चा अलग होगा तो हम क्या करेंगे। दैट इज माई लास्ट पॉइंट। यू ऑल आर गोइंग ऑन दी परफेक्ट ट्रैक। तो यहां तक अगर आप समझ गए कि ये सारा एस्टिमेट लेके हुआ है, कॉस्टिंग तक एस्टिमेट लेके हुआ है, तो अब आएगा मेन पॉइंट। जब मेरा खर्चा एक्चुअल अलग आएगा तो हम क्या करेंगे? एंड 100% केसेस में कॉस्ट अलग ही आने वाला है, क्योंकि आपने बहुत चीजें एक्सपेक्ट की, बहुत चीजें अज्यूम की। आपके सारे अजम्पशंस राइट नहीं होने वाले, कुछ तो अजम्पशन गलत होंगे। तो आपका एक्चुअल कहीं ना कहीं पे अलग होगा। उसको क्या करना है, दैट इज द लास्ट पार्ट ऑफ ओवरहेड्स चैप्टर।
मतलब वो कॉस्ट शीट को अफेक्ट करेगा या नहीं करेगा? मेरा क्वेश्चन
मेरी
ये
बात
था,
सुनो,
सर।
मेरी बात सुनो, सी अंडरस्टैंड दिस प्रैक्टिकली। आपके सवाल को ही मैं सवाल के रूप में ही आपको पूछने वाला हूं। मैं बोट कंपनी हूं, मुझे मेरे प्रोडक्ट्स के प्राइजेस जो कॉस्ट पे से मैं निकाल रहा हूं, वो पहले से डिसाइड करने हैं, या आप जब ऑर्डर दे दोगे उसके बाद डिसाइड करने हैं?
पहले से फिक्स करेंगे, सर।
मैं तो आज ही प्राइस फिक्स करके मैंने सारे ऑनलाइन फोरम्स, अमेजोन, फ्लिपकार्ट, सबको बता दिया कि भाई मेरा ये प्राइस है, आप ये प्राइस छाप देना उधर। तभी तो लोग ऑर्डर देंगे। करेक्ट?
यस, सर।
यानी आपके सवाल का जवाब आपको मिला होगा कि क्या हमने कॉस्टिंग पूरा एस्टिमेट बेसिस पे किया? आंसर इज यस।
तो सर, एक्चुअल विल नॉट अफेक्ट दिस कॉस्ट शीट, राइट?
एक्चुअल अफेक्ट कर ही नहीं सकता। क्यों? क्योंकि मेरे को एक्चुअल कब पता चलता है, पता है, मालूम है बेटा आपको? साल खत्म होने के बाद, क्योंकि आप आपका एक्चुअल ट्रेडिंग, पीएनएल, ये सब तो साल के बाद बनाते हो।
यस, सर।
मुझे मेरा
अंडर
एक्चुअली अकाउंट जो आपको बताता है वो एक्चुअल है, कॉस्टिंग जो आपको कॉस्ट शीट बताता है वो एस्टिमेटेड है, और इन दोनों का ही फर्क का क्या करना है वो हम आगे सीखने वाले हैं।
ओके, सर।
सो आप जितने भी प्रोडक्ट्स आज खरीद रहे हो, देख रहे हो, सबके प्राइजेस एस्टिमेटेड बेसिस पे ही निकाले जाते हैं, क्योंकि आप पहले ऑर्डर दोगे, वो प्राइस देखोगे आप ऑर्डर देने के पहले, उसके बाद शायद मैं आपको प्रोडक्ट बना के दूंगा। जैसे एक छोटा सा एग्जांपल लेता हूं। यू गो टू जूस पार्लर, जहां पे अलग अलग जूसेस मिलते हैं। आप पहले आपके मेनू कार्ड में उसका प्राइस देखते हो। आपको लगता है कि चलो अभी जामुन का जूस मुझे पीना है, या जामुन और स्ट्रॉबेरी का जूस पीना है, उसका प्राइस है 250। आप उसको प्राइस देख के फिर ऑर्डर करोगे। वो उसके बाद वो सारी चीजों को बनाएगा, आपके सामने कितनी बार बना के देगा। तो कितनी बार तो ये होगा कि वो आपके सामने ही बना के देगा, मगर पहले तो प्राइस बता दी ना। यानी कॉस्टिंग तो एस्टिमेट बेसिस पे ही हुआ ना।
यस, सर।
वेरी
ओके,
गुड।
सर। थैंक यू, सर।
यस, यस तमन्ना बेटा। तमन्ना, आस्क मी योर क्वेश्चन। Tamanna beta, I am not able to hear you. If you have a question, please ask me. नो क्वेश्चन? सुपर। यस पुष्पेंद्र, हमारे आंसर्स अलग आएंगे, और ये आंसर जब अलग आएंगे तो क्या करना है वही हमें अभी समझना है. वी आर गोइंग टू डिस्कस दैट आफ्टर 5-10 minutes. इज दिस क्लियर स्टूडेंट्स? यू आर सेइंग माइक ऑन नहीं हो रहा है बेटा, देन लॉग आउट एंड री लॉग इन. क्योंकि जब तक मुझे आपका सवाल नहीं समझेगा मैं आपको जवाब नहीं दे पाऊंगा, या आपको जवाब समझ में नहीं आएगा. यस लोहित, सो दैट इज व्हाट इज द इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट. जब आप एक्चुअल में प्रोडक्शन करोगे आपके एक्चुअल मटेरियल यूसेज कम ज्यादा होंगे, कोई मटेरियल आपका लॉस निकल जाएगा, उसी को हम फिर नॉर्मल लॉस और एबनॉर्मल लॉस बोल के ट्रीट करते हैं. और इसका क्या करते हैं ये आप प्रोसेस कॉस्टिंग चैप्टर में सीखोगे. तो लोहित, पूजा, आप लोगों के जो क्वेश्चंस है कि अगर मेरा एक्चुअल मटेरियल यूसेज कम या ज्यादा हुआ, या यूज करते वक्त मुझे कुछ खराब मिला, वेस्ट मिला, तो उसको क्या करेंगे कॉस्टिंग में, आपको इसका जवाब मिलेगा व्हेन यू सॉल्व प्रोसेस कॉस्टिंग चैप्टर. वी आर स्टेपिंग अहेड वन बाय वन इन द कॉन्सेप्ट्स. तमन्ना बेटा, 15.2 को कैसे कैलकुलेट करना है, आप थोड़ा ऊपर स्क्रॉल करो. खुशी गुप्ता ने आपको इसका आंसर दिया है. मैं खुशी गुप्ता का आंसर कॉपी करके वापस टाइप कर रहा हूं. नहीं, नहीं हो रहा है कॉपी पेस्ट. बेटा थोड़ा सा ऊपर स्क्रॉल करो, खुशी गुप्ता ने आपको बताया है कि कैसे सॉल्व करते हैं. आपका सवाल क्या है उसके बाद मेरे को अभी तक नहीं समझा. खुशी ने आपको बताया है, देखो. अब मुझे सवाल पूछो आपका. क्या अभी भी आपको नहीं समझा 15.2 का कैलकुलेशन? नहीं लोहित बेटा, 15.2 तो कैसे आया, वो तो ऊपर वाले वर्किंग में आ गया ना. उसको 15 पॉइंट, वो गलती क्या कर रही है, वो 15.2 को मल्टीप्लाई बाय 50% कर रही है. तो उसको जो इंडिविजुअल एक आ रहा है वो अलग आ रहा है, और जो हमारा एक आ रहा है वो अलग आ रहा है. She is multiplying 15.2 by the percentages, but we don't have to take percentage because we are ignoring the last one. So we will take it as a ratio. Yes, Khushi Beda, what is your question? Khushi, I am unmuting you. Khushi, you are unmuted now. Khushi, you are unmuted, Beda, but I cannot hear what you are saying if you are saying anything. I cannot hear you, Beda, if you are saying something. Okay, I'll proceed. So students, if you have understood up to this point, let me take you to the theory part so that from practical to theory, now theory will be easy to understand. Pay attention. What are we studying? We are studying how to charge overheads. Now, overheads charge karne ka step is what? First, you find out the overhead charging rate. If you remember, I had said it is called as ORR in short. Why? It is overhead recovery rate. But there are two other names, overhead charging rate or overhead absorption rate. So there are total three names out of which we commonly use overhead recovery rate. So it is ORR. So you budgeted the overheads in the numerator, you budgeted what you should take as the base, and dividing it, you got this ORR. Correct? And जब आप कॉस्ट शीट बनाओगे तो कॉस्ट शीट में आप ये चार्ज करोगे कैसे? If your base was machine hours, you will take machine hours of that product multiplied by this estimated overhead recovery rate which we calculated. So ये cost sheet में हो रहा है और ये हम working note में कर रहे हैं. This is what we have studied. Kushi, I have unmuted you, beta.
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
Now I can hear you, beta. Please tell me.
Yes, sir. In the answer you gave for the division of 15.2, sir, can you please show that on the screen? Sir, in this, the division you gave was 7.6 and 3.8, 2.8. Sir, this division is divided on the basis of 15% and 25%.
Not percent, beta.
No, sir, the answer you gave has this division.
Okay, so then I'll change my answer. ठीक है?
Yes, sir,
Maybe.
this was causing the confusion.
Okay, I understood. Thank you for clarifying. I understood now what is wrong. So tell me what is the correct division, beta?
So it is 8.4,
For
4.2,
8.4 for A, yes,
4.2,
and
2.5.
good. So now I understood why it was causing confusion to Tamanna. Thank you, beta.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now what I have explained in past two lectures, now I'm doing it in theoretical format. So for administrative overheads, there are alternative options given. First, you don't charge administrative overheads to product, you directly transfer it to P&L. We don't follow this, but this is one of the theoretical points given in your module. Second, again, you don't charge administration overheads to your products directly. You divide the administration between production and selling. This you study in cost sheet where you are given administrative related to production, administrative related to selling, and then you add administrative related to production with production and administrative selling related to selling with selling. This you will study in cost sheet. But what we studied here is if I want to charge administrative overhead separately, how to charge? So answer is you have to find out this ORR for administrative overheads. For this, what will be the base? They have explained. Either you take per unit or you take percentage of factory cost. If you remember, all this was explained here in the previous class. So see, either you take units as the base or you take factory cost as the base and you'll get the answer either in percentage or per unit. Right? Similarly, for selling distribution overheads, if you want to charge, again, what will be the base? Because the formula is same, you can take the base as units sold or you can take the base as percentage of sales. Again, see, when I'd explained this in the previous class, for selling distribution, either I had taken units sold as the base or sales value where we took percentage. So you get two answers, means not two answers, you will take one of the base. So either by first base, you get the charging rate as per unit or by the second base, you'll get as percentage. Now, for production overheads, there are two options given. One is using a blanket rate or single rate. Now remember one thing, for administration and selling, we are having only one option, that is using a single rate. So same thing you can do here. If you want to use a single rate, you will use only one base. What is that one base? This is what we discussed. You can take the base as production units or labor hours or labor cost, whatever, and you can find one single rate. But this is generally not followed. So single rate or blanket rate approach is not followed for production overheads. Instead, what we do for production overheads is we go by the lengthier method, which is called as a departmental rate method. For this, what are the detailed steps? So the detailed steps is at the start of the year, you have estimated overheads. Now you are doing something called as departmentalization. Now this is a theory question. What is departmentalization of overheads? What is departmentalization? Please understand what we did was we distributed our overheads Yes. So what we did was we divided all our overhead expenses between all our departments, which we call as primary distribution. So dividing your expenses, that is overheads, between departments is called as departmentalization of overheads. So this is the theory questions answer. What is departmentalization of overheads? This is what is departmentalization of overheads. So what we did was primary, and after primary, what we did was secondary. Now, in primary, you did two steps, allocation and apportionment. Now, what is allocation? What is apportionment? Please understand again from this practical example. There were few expenses like these four, for which no ratio was required because already the bifurcation was given. You simply took that figure from the question and put it in the answer. So you simply allocated. Allocated means gave what is already divided, what is already applicable for everyone, you directly gave it to them. This is allocation. But beside this, for all remaining expenses which were common, which were not known department wise, you had to use some ratio for dividing it between the various departments. So where you are dividing the expenses between various departments, it is called as apportionment. So apportionment means dividing using ratio. And this giving what is already applicable to everyone is allocation. So in two steps or using two steps, you did primary. So one step was giving respective amounts to each department. And apportionment is dividing common expenses to each department using ratios. This is allocation, this is apportionment. Now with this, what happened after allocation, apportionment, that is after primary, you got totals of A, B, C, X, Y. But X, Y, as we have been discussing, are serving whom? They are serving the production departments. They are not serving the customers. So customers are not going to pay to me separately the expenses of X and Y. So what we do is we do secondary or redistribution. In this, what we do is we divide the X and Y, that is a service department cost. So we charge service department cost to whom? To production departments using those different methods. What are the different methods? Direct method, stepladder method, or reciprocal. And in reciprocal, you have two, repeated or simultaneous. Correct? Now, after this, after secondary distribution, now you got only totals of A, B, and C. So now your overheads are only A, B, C. Now you have to find out the overhead charging or recovery rate. How? Divide the total by suitable base. Now here, if you had not followed this detailed step, you had done it at the start only, that you had taken the total production overheads divided by one single base, you will get one single rate. But as I said, we don't follow this. So instead, we follow departmental rate by which we have done all this primary, secondary. Now, every department's overheads you will divide by its respective base. So you will get ORR of A, you will get ORR of B, and you will get ORR of C. And then finally, using this rate, you will prepare cost sheet where you will absorb, where you will charge the cost to each of your products. So I prepared cost sheet of only one product, that is headphone. Next time you'll prepare cost sheet of earbuds. Third time you'll prepare cost sheet of something, 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 something. So all products of both company, you'll prepare separate costing and you'll charge the overheads. You will charge the material labor overheads to find out total cost. Now what you all were asking me is this point. Ki, sir, but at the end, actual overheads and the overheads which we charge using estimated, what if there is a difference? You have to do something of this difference, but that I will explain later. Let me complete. I'm still on this part. Which part? I'm on the part of calculating this departmental rate or charging rate. Now see, all the points which I've given above, here they are the detailed points. Same thing is repeated in detail. See, we have studied all this, correct? Whatever we did practically, we are doing now theoretically. Now here, I'm in this step that you have to find out the overhead charging rate, and using this charging rate, you have to charge the overheads to your products. Now for finding out overhead charging rate, you have to divide your overheads by some base denominator. This is what is called as base. Now what could be the base? The base could be units or it could be hours. Within hours, if your department is working using labor primarily, you will use labor hours, or if your department is mechanized, you will use machine hours. If you want to use percentage, you can use percentage of material cost. This is not recommended. You can use percentage of prime cost. This is also not recommended, but yes, if you want to use percentage, you can use percentage of labor cost. When you solve cost sheet sums, you will find that many of the overheads will be given as percentage of labor cost. And at times you will be given overheads as per hour or per hour. That is per labor hour, per machine hour. Then comes out of this, which method is considered as more suitable. So generally it is either the percentage labor cost method or the hourly method. These are the suitable methods depending upon how your department is operating. How to select these bases? They have given some criteria. This is theory. You can for the time being ignore. Now here I want to come to an important part. See, this is the last part, treatment of the difference. But before that, there is a practical part, one more part, which is now actually for this we require one more lecture. So maybe we'll do it separately. What is this machine hour rate? Machine hour rate is, now we just saw that we did primary and secondary. So now I got total of department A, department B, department C. When you do the entire department together, it is departmentalization of overheads. It is primary, secondary. Now, besides that, primary, secondary, you may get question only of one of the department. Which department? Out of the three, whichever is the machine department. So in my example, it was department A, which was the machine department. Now what they will give you is, they will give you all the expenses of that department. So see, they will give you life of machine, scrap value of machine, cost of machine. So using this, you can find out depreciation. They will give you repairs, maintenance. They will give you insurance. They will give you electricity. So all expenses of department A, which is the machine department, will be given. In this question, what you are required to do is make a total. So you get total overheads of your department A and divided by the machine hours. So you get your ORR. Now, what are these sums called? These sums are called as machine hour rate sums. Why? Because when your ORR is calculated by dividing the overheads by machine hour, the rate that you are getting, let us say I'm getting the rate as 12.5. The rate is coming as per machine hour. So per machine hour, what is my labor cost? It is 12.5. That is why we call it as the machine hour rate. Now this part of the practical question I'm keeping aside. Anyways, this is partly covered in whatever we have studied till now. But in our another session, maybe during revision, whenever we get an extra session, I'll complete separately the questions on this. So we have completed up to this point. Now see, we solved sums up to this point. We did primary, we did secondary, and after primary, secondary, you have comprehensive. Comprehensive means what? Now in these sums, you have to do all three steps, primary, secondary, and then divide the total by the base, that is ORR. So this is the comprehensive sum, which will be 8 to 9 marks. And after that, you may get sums only where you have to deal with machine hour rate of only one department, which is the machine department. This, whenever we take one extra class, I will cover that. Let me come to the last part, which is slightly different. The slightly different part is this. Now, few of you had asked me this question. Sir, you have said that you are taking estimated figures for finding out overhead recovery rate. Then you said that even in cost sheet, you are finding out the cost, that is, you are charging the cost, taking estimated figures. Answer is yes. But what if at the end of the year, the actual amount that you get is different for any reason. Your hours are different, your expenses are different, anything can be different. Yes, 100% you will get difference. Now, whenever you get difference, what we have to do? So for this, I again come back to my first lecture. Now, if you remember in my first lecture, I started with some accounting part. Why I started with the accounting part? So that now when I come to the last part, you can connect. Now, what I have done is I have prepared this overhead register in which I've broken up my expenses into production, administration, selling, which I have said that I have put it here in my respective overheads account, right? Now, these are my actual overheads because these all have come from my books of accounts. These are my actual. And in the cost sheet, what I have charged here, these are my charged overheads, which are using estimated rates. Now, interestingly, in my cost accounting, actual overheads which I've incurred will be debited. Now, this is your simple accounts. If you remember, account expenses are debited and cash bank is credited, right? So my actual expenses here also are debited by the name overheads, overheads, overheads. And whatever I have charged in cost sheet is credited. Now you will see the difference. This is on actual basis. This is using the estimated ORR which we calculated in all the process of primary, secondary. Definitely at the end of the year, your overheads account is going to show difference. Now, what to do of this difference? That is what is our last part in this chapter, that is treatment of difference. Now, this difference can be more, this difference can be less, and hence we are calling it as under over absorption. Students, I don't know why in every class people ask for WhatsApp group link, Telegram group link. I don't know why. Maybe I think new students are joining every class, but every class this is a common question and this happens even in every subject. No problem. I'll request admin to please share this with you all. Anyways, pay attention. Now, I will show you this part, which is now the difference. So debit is the actual, credit is the charge, which is in the cost sheet, which is taking the estimated rates. Now there is a difference. What to do of this difference? I will show it to you in a separate sheet. So now we are in the separate sheet where what we are discussing now is treatment. Treatment of the difference, which is called as under or over absorbed overheads. Right, students? Now, I come back to that accounting part which I was showing. So this is my production overheads account. Here to cash bank is the actual overheads, correct? This what you do in accounts also. And if you remember my previous class of overheads, I had mentioned that same accounting entries are done, only the names of the accounts are different. Over there, you have the names called as depreciation, rent, light bill. Here, we have gone to the overheads register where we have made a total of all that and given it only three names: production overheads, administration overheads, selling and distribution overheads. So here your actual overheads which you have incurred are debited by what entry? To cash bank. And credit is whatever cost you have charged to your products. Now, this is what you are charging to your product accounts. This is what is the amount. Which amount is this? This is the overheads charge amount. Now, I have said you are charging it to product accounts. Now, you are going to study cost accounting in detail, but just to explain you this point, you have your products divided into three categories. This also I had shown in that previous class. First is WIP. Till your product is under production, you call your product as WIP. Then once the production is complete and the product becomes ready and it is kept in your warehouse godowns, you call it as finished goods. It means till production is happening, you debit cost here. After production is completed, the finished goods are transferred from WIP account to FG account and they are kept in finished goods account till they are sold. And once they are sold, they get transferred to the cost of sales account. Now see, this is finished goods produced, FG produced. This is FG sold. There is going to be some difference. That is why you have opening closing stocks. Here you have opening stock of WIP, closing stock of WIP. Here you have opening stock of finished goods produced, finished goods sold. So you have closing stock of finished goods, and these are finished goods sold. Since this is goods sold account, there is no closing stock. This amount is later on transferred to cost P&L. Now, why this accounting is required? Please understand both these entries, debit and credit. Debit is what actual amount that I'm paying. Credit is what I'm charging in my cost sheet to different products. This is happening throughout the year. Throughout the year, as you all will agree, every month I'm paying some or the other expense which is getting debited. And as I'm producing a product, as I'm getting order, I'm charging the overheads to the product. Now coming to the point, at the end of the year, now see, we are reaching end of the financial year 25-26. Up to 31st March, that is till this year will come to an end, both these entries are happening in my overheads account. Debit, whatever I'm paying every month, credit, whatever I'm charging to my different products. Now, after 31st March, when I will come to close the books, I will find, for example, the total debit which has happened throughout the year is 25 lakhs. But whatever I've charged till now is only 24 lakhs. Why? Because the charge was using the estimated rate which I calculated at the start of the year, and that rate will definitely differ with the actual overheads. Now, this difference where you have paid more and charged less, this difference is called as under absorption. How much is the difference? 1 lakh. So I have paid more. So I have paid more, but charge is less. So the difference is under absorption. Why under absorption? Because absorption, charging, these are parallel words. So if absorption or charging is less, you call it as under absorption. Vice versa, if this would have been 27 lakhs and this is only 25 lakhs, then I would have got difference here. Means what? I have charged more, but paid less. So this 2 lakhs would have been called as over absorption. Now I come to the main part. Now in the question, you are required to give the treatment. So the question is of 4 to 5 marks on treatment. Again, it is very simple. First step is find out how much is the difference which is under or over absorbed overheads. How will you find out this difference? You will take the overheads charged amount. From that, subtract the overheads incurred amount. Incurred means actual. This difference, if it is positive, it will be called as over absorption because your charge is more. If this is negative, it means charge is less. You will call it as under absorption. So first step is find out the difference. So out of 4 marks, 1 mark is on finding out this difference. What is the second step? Now what to do of this difference? So now my second part is treatment of this difference. Let us say the difference is under absorption. Now in this, in the question, they will tell you how much of this difference has happened because of abnormal reasons and how much of this has happened because of normal reasons. Depending upon this, you will decide the treatment. Correct? So this is how we are going to deal with the difference. Now let me take you to the actual question so that now when I'm explaining you this format also or the working also, it will be done with actual question. So instead of taking first question, which is a simple one, let me take slightly lengthier question, which is second one. So 24 sum. This question, please understand the above questions, that is primary, secondary, they were happening at the start of the year or even before start of the year. So right now we are before start of the next financial year 26-27. Right now what we are doing is primary, secondary and calculating ORR. So all above sums are for next financial year, which is yet to start because you are doing it on estimated basis. Now, this part of the question, which is for finding out the treatment, this is happening at the end of the year. So right now we are at the end of financial year 25-26. So when this financial year 25-26 will end, then this will happen. What will happen? What data is known? Let us say this is for financial year 25-26, and let us say it has ended. Now what the company says? The company had estimated at the start of this year, they had estimated that their overhead charging rate, overhead absorption rate will be rupees 6 per machine hour. So we already saw this in primary, secondary. After secondary, we divide by machine hours. So you find out this rate. So you did at the start of the year. Now what has happened during the year? During this year, 25-26, the actual overhead, see, whenever they will say incurred, it means actual overheads were 395. So I will write it here, 395, which is actual overheads, correct? And the hours worked were 70,000. Now, what we have learned in cost sheet, that how you have charged this overheads on the basis of your hours multiplied by the charging rate, which is 6 per machine hour. So this is the overheads charged. This is the overheads incurred, correct? Now, how much is your overhead charge? 7 6 are 42. So I have charged 420. But I have paid 395. So I have positive 25,000, which in bracket I will call as over absorbed overheads. Why? Because I have charged more. My estimates were giving me higher amount, whereas my actual overheads incurred was less. So this difference is called as over absorbed overheads. I get 1 mark by only finding out this difference. So first part of this question is over. I have found out the difference. Now I have to do the treatment. For treatment, what you need to know is, out of this difference, how much is abnormal and how much is normal. So I continue the question. What all details are given? The cost record showed the following. So the cost records have given me some figures. These are required later. Now this part is important. It is estimated that 50% of this is due to abnormal reasons. So I know 50% is abnormal. It means balance 50 is normal. So this is the treatment part. They have said that whatever difference has come, 50% is abnormal. So how much is 50%? It is 12,500. It is 12,500. What am I supposed to do? I am supposed to tell them what to do of this difference. So firstly, I find out the difference. The difference is 25,000. Now what to do of this difference? That depends upon whether it is because of normal or abnormal reasons. Now whatever amount I get for abnormal, here I am getting 12,500. What I will write? Charge. Ah, students, 1 second. Okay. So in the treatment part, whatever amount comes for abnormal, answer is simple. It is to be charged to P&L. But whatever comes normal, the rule says charged to product accounts. Now I've just explained you here, there are three product accounts. So every product is in three stages: WIP, FG, COS. Now interestingly, please understand, when are we doing this treatment? We are doing this at the end of the year. End of the year, in this account, what is the amount which is left? It is the closing WIP. At the end of the year, what is left in this account? It is the closing finished goods. And in this account, what is left? It is the value of goods which is sold. So firstly, whatever is the normal portion, the rule is charge it to product accounts. How? We will make a table. So WIP account, finished goods account, COS account. Now please remember, there are three product accounts. So normal will always be charged to the three accounts. But when you have to distribute again this between three, you require ratio. What is the ratio? Ratio is this: closing WIP, closing finished goods, and goods sold. So you have to find out these three figures from the question. How much is closing? How much is closing WIP, finished goods, and goods sold? Now here what they have given, closing WIP is 8,000 units, but these are WIP. WIP means under process. How much processing is done? 60%. Similarly, closing finished goods is 10,000 and units sold is 35,200. So this is your ratio. But keep in mind, for closing WIP, since it is work in progress, it is not your completed units. Whatever is the closing units of WIP, you multiply it by the percentage. So what is my ratio? Here, my ratio is of closing WIP units. But how many units are there? 80,000. You multiplied by 60%. Why? Because it is not in completed stage, it is semi-finished stage. So we are finding out what will be the equivalent finished stage. Similarly, I take closing finished goods units and I will take goods sold units. Now, how many are these units? Finished goods closing is 10,000, sold units is 35,200. I'll take them as it is. So this is 4,800 units. This is 10,000 units. So I have to divide the normal portion, that is 12,500, in this ratio: 4,800, 10,000, 35,200. So how much it comes to? 50. So I have to divide 12,500. So here the amount I'm getting is 1125. No, sorry, I made a mistake. It is 1,200. Then it is 2,500. And it is, so see students, what is the treatment? The abnormal portion 12,500 has gone to which account? Cost P&L account. 1,200 rupees has gone to which account? WIP account. 2,500 has gone to which account? Finished goods account. And 8,800 has gone to which account? COS account. I'll just show it in account format just for your understanding. So this is my production overheads accounts. Throughout the year, the total debits, which is through cash and bank, is the amount incurred. How much is the amount incurred? It is 395. How much is credit which is charged to my product accounts? It is 420. So now at the end of the year, you are standing at this stage where some difference is appearing. Now I have to close this account. For closing this account, I have to treat the difference. I have to adjust the difference. What treatment I have given? This is the treatment. 12,500 will go to which account? Cost P&L account 2. 12,500. Then WIP, FG, COS. How much are going? I have just computed 1200, 2500, 8800. Now, if you do total, your account is balanced and it is closed. This is not asked in the question. I'm showing you for understanding of the concept, not part of answer. This is for understanding concept of under over absorption treatment. Correct? So I come back to the question. What was the question? So the question said you have to show the treatment, give the treatment of the difference. I have done that. Now they want me to show the journal entry of this treatment. Now once if we have understood the ledger account, journal entry of this will be simple. So now what am I asked in the question is journal entry. Now see, you need to know one thing, that if this difference has come as over absorption, means what has happened? So what has happened? All this treatment, whatever you have solved above, is going on the debit side of the production overheads account and the credit side of the respective account. It means what would be your JV for this? The JV for this will be production overheads account debited to cost P&L. This is the abnormal portion. And then WIP, FG, COS. This three constitutes the normal portion. So 12,500, 1,200, 2,500, 8,800, and my difference of 25,000 is resolved. So I've done the next part also, which is journal entry. Now what else they are asking? Show the impact of this difference on the profits of the year. Now, interestingly, please understand these two figures, if you see my logic here, they are part of the closing balances, means whatever amount you have transferred to WIP and finished goods account, they will be added in the closing stock. But whatever you have charged to COS, these goods are already sold. Now the amount charged to COS and the amount of cost P&L is the real impact on profit, because whatever is transferred to cost P&L, that is impact on profit, and whatever is already sold, that is also the impact on profit, because profit is impacted by these two things. So now one more thing you have to keep in mind. If your difference is over absorption, it means over absorption always leads to increase in profit. So you'll always write what is impact on profit? Profit shall increase by. Now by which amounts? Two amounts. Always remember. It will increase by. Now how much is this? It is 12,500 plus 8,800. That is the P&L amount and the COS amount. You have to keep this in mind. So simply put the addition. So it comes to, now had this difference been under absorption, everything would have remained same, only would have written profit shall reduce by. Since it is over absorption, you will say profit shall increase by. In over absorption, you'll write profit increase by. In under absorption, you write profit decrease by. That is the impact on profit. So see how you get the 4 marks. You will be getting either half or 1 mark here. Then you will be getting 2 marks here. And you will be again getting half or 1 mark here and the balance half or 1 mark here. This is how your 4 marks would be divided. So students, this is how you deal with the difference. But as rightly asked by some of you all that what will happen if there is a difference? This is what will happen when there is a difference. So students, this is your entire overheads account. I have left certain things which are in between, but since if you know, we had one more class of overhead, but that had to be cancelled because of some technical reasons. And that will be adjusted maybe in revision class or something, but at least I have accommodated all conceptual points in these 2 classes. Yes, if there would have been one more class, we would have solved more sums, but no problem. You practice at your end. Whatever are your challenges, doubts, we will take it in a separate class, but at least the conceptual part of this chapter is completed. Only the practical solving part is slightly left out because of paucity of time. So students, with this, we have completed the overhead chapter. I'm sure maybe it may take some time for you to process, but don't worry. Yes, but Maithili, thank you. Minu is asking, but how you calculate 1200, 2500? See, beta, we divide the normal portion. So whatever is our normal, in this, the normal amount of difference is 12,500. 12,500 has to be apportioned in this ratio of units of closing WIP, finished goods, and units sold. And when you're taking closing WIP, you have to first convert the units into equivalent units by multiplying it by the percentage completed. So when you divide it in this ratio, beta, you will get these amounts, 1200, 2500, and 8800. Meanwhile, perfect. Super. So students, that is all from my side. Today, I will share this sheet also, which is the sheet of all workings of primary, secondary, under or absorption, and also the sheet which contains answers for the remaining questions. Yes, Lohit.
Sir, just a question. I just wanted to know employee cost and this chapter and material cost. Will we get a lot of theory questions in exam, or it is very
You see, out of your total paper, there is only one uh, question allotted for theory, and that one question will cover theory from chapter 1. Then out of these 3 chapters, it may cover theory questions from one of the chapters. So it may be theory on overheads, it may be theory on material, and remaining 2-3 questions on theory, it will be covering from other chapters. So you do have theory from these 3 chapters, but not all chapters. Generally, they will ask out of these 3, one of the chapters theory question.
Sir, okay, sorry. Can we just be sure on being practical and concepts and not worry about theory? For
You can
example,
do that. You can do that because generally the theory question is the last question, which is generally the part of optional question. So you can do that. But let me tell you one thing, Lohit. See, I can understand why you have this question because even as a student, remembering theory is a burden. But let me tell you, all theory are based on practical. If you have seen my previous classes till now, I first explain practical and then from practical I go to theory. So then the theory becomes more easy to understand. So I will say that do not completely write off theory. Also read theory. Yes, some theory which is only theory may be difficult to retain, but at least if you have read something, it will help you in exam because at times it may happen that out of the other questions which are only purely practical, there may be a googly question, a bouncer question. So it may be difficult for you to attempt in an exam, or maybe you are not able to recall the formula at that time. So at such times, at least theory, knowing and reading theory would help as a savior.
okay.
But you can always do that. You can ignore theory, but I will personally recommend that don't ignore it completely. At least have 2 or 3 reading of theory concepts because anyways, majority of the theory is linked to practical. So it will be easy to remember.
Okay, so, last question. Okay,
Yes, yes, please tell.
even for theory, I just wanted to know whether, in theory for audit and law, we have to use specific words at
See,
places.
don't worry for the words, though the answer to your question is yes. Why? Because audit and law are very specific subjects. I'm not using the word technical because technical sounds to be very heavy, but these are specific subjects. Like I'll give you an example. We say what is audit? Audit is checking, right? But if I have to write it in audit's language, which is a specific language, I'll say it is verification. So checking and verification will mean one and the same in generic sense. But when I have to write audit paper, I should write I'm verifying the books. I cannot say I'm checking the books. So these are certain words which, as you rightly pointed out, whether you should use, answer is yes. But again, in my previous classes, I've said that there are three stages of learning. First is understand the subject, the conceptual part. Then try to retain the words. And third is try to use the citations like the section number, in case of law, in case of audit, try the essay numbers. But that is third. But first two things you should always try to do. One, first understand the subject. So even if you write the whole paper in your own words without using the technical words and the citations, still you will pass if your whole paper is right. Remember this. So first focus should be on thorough understanding of the subject. Then the decorative part, that is using the specific language. This is slightly help you get extra 10-15% marks. And then if you can rewrite the citation, it will also give you the balance 10-15% marks. So it is like this 60% marks of the whole paper is based on understanding and conceptual clarity. So if you write the whole paper in plain language, you will still get 50-55 marks if your whole paper is correct. But you will not get the remaining marks because they are for using the specific language, specific headers, and also for using the section numbers or essay numbers, etc. But you will still pass. We
Sure.
have done that way only. See, I'll tell you a very simple thing as a student. You have different papers. You may find more comfort, more specialization in one or two papers and less in the other two papers. So what I used to do is where I felt more specialization like subjects of taxation, I used to do it thoroughly so that I'll score 70, 80, 90 marks. And where in subjects where I felt that I'm not having that specialization, maybe because I'm not able to understand all concepts or I'm not able to retain the word, at least I used to make myself clear with the knowledge part so that at least I'll get 50, 55 somewhere. So that overall average, my average should come between 55 to 60 for the overall subject. Because out of six papers, one of the paper may be tragic and I will be very on the borderline, 40 marks or something. This happened with me at inter also and final also. And you never know which paper will be tragic. So if you go by this approach that let us say I divide my six paper into three categories, two best papers, two good papers and two average papers. Now it may be different for everyone, but depending upon your comfort with every subject. So which are my two best papers? I will do everything. Which are my two good papers? I will do first and second. That is the knowledge and at least some language part. And which are my average papers? At least I'll thorough myself in the entire knowledge. And for remaining two things, I'll try to remember whatever I can. So that in the exams, ultimately I cross 55, 60 marks in overall average. This should be the strategy, beta.
Uh, Sir, and last question, like out of what you told right now, so it is better to attend 100% of the paper while you are in
Always see the guru mantra for passing is attempt minimum 80 plus paper. Because the moment you attempt 80 plus paper, even if you have written average, that is without specific words and all, you will score 45 plus. Because I gave you the 60% rule. Even without writing citations and all, you get 60%. So if you write 80% of the paper correct, so you are attempting 100% out of which 80% is correct, and you have written not without any citation, still 60% of 80% is 48. This is the simple calculation. So try
Sure.
to attempt 100% paper, even if not 180, 90, but with precision. That will give you 60% marks without specific section numbers reference or without specific words. And if you have written specific words, that 60% will become 70, 80%. So it will make you 55, 60. That is a simple calculation.
Thanks a lot, sir. Like this conversation cleared out a lot of clutter in my head. Like, thank you.
Super, super. Yes, students. Anybody else has any similar question? Maybe general studies or exams approach. Yes, Pushpendra. So in over-absorption, profit increases. In under-absorption, profit decreases. Yes, Surinder, this sheet will be uploaded today. Yes, Sushmita, beta.
Sir, just wanted to see from like exam preparation point of view. So say I am going to like give only group one, okay?
Hmm.
But is it better for me to attend all the lectures together and then do only the revisions like for group one separately and attempt and group two separately and attempt, or would you suggest like to take only the classes for which group I am taking and then preparing?
See, first answer is it is always recommended that if you are, let us say, having exams in next 6 months, I don't know when your exams are coming, but if it is in next 6 months, you should take classes only of that group which you are attempting. But let us say your exams are after 9 months or after a year, then I will say, even though you're not confident of group two, at least do one group full and at least select one or two paper of the other group and try to score exemption. This will reduce your burden for the second attempt whenever you will go for the, because see, if you have more than 6 months time, so let us say you have 9 months or 12 months for your exams, and if you are devoting everything for one group, what will happen once these exams are complete and you prepare for the next exam, that is the other group, you are only having 3 to 4 months, which will be very short period for completing the other group, because it also has three papers, right? So if
Yeah.
your time period is more than 6 months, like 9 months, 12 months, your approach should be, even if not both groups, at least one group thoroughly complete, and the other group, you will select one paper which you will try for exemption, and other papers anyways you have to attempt, because otherwise you don't get the exemption benefit. But that you can simply go and sit and attempt on the basis of general logic. But if you are having only 6 months or less than 6 months, then you should only focus on one group, attend only classes of one group, and only prepare one group.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you so much.
Yes, yes. Any other questions, students? Anybody? No? So students, thank you very much. Today was an outstanding, I'll say, one of the days where students asked such super questions, and they were in such proper sequence as to questions were coming that it made entire costing complete today itself. I'll tell you. Now you have understood entire costing from start to end, from the working notes to the final conclusion answers, right? So please study well. Yes, I don't say that it is 100% true, because still you have to test yourself through variety of questions. Question languages are different, questions are complicated, but that with practice, you will understand, because today you have understood the conceptual part. Fine. So thank you very much. Take care. Bye bye. We'll connect again for some another session. Thank you. Yes, Manishji, done from my side. Thank you. Take care.